again with a new guest, as you can see, the beautiful Miss Bailey O'Brien.
Hello.
Who has wonderful fashion sense. I love your outfit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. She is a HealingStrong volunteer member, thriver. And so I'm excited to kind of have her share her story a bit and kind of just organically have a conversation about your story and what HealingStrong has meant to you within that.
I'm ready. I'm excited.
Go, Bailey. Yeah, we'll just start with you.
I'll
We'll
hand
just
it over
dive
to
in
you.
with your story.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
because
story.
everyone knows
Okay.
this is Giving Tuesday and we're just sharing stories. So start with your story, Bailey. Share with us just a little bit of background about how you even got to this place.
Okay. So my cancer story diagnosis was in 2007. We're actually coming up on 15 years next few days. I was 17 and moved away from home to it's really not the setting at all that I thought I would find myself in for college. But I was in a very, very little, I had a lot of community support. I was on this swimming 50 of us, so I had built-in friends and family, but I really didn't feel like so I called my mom every day and I was crying and just like felt so handle the stress of athletics, academics, and social pressures. Shortly after that, I ended up with stage 3 melanoma. I found out when I went home for winter break. I went through the standard of care that semester and then went back to college at the beginning of my senior year. And again, I did the conventional therapies. I did surgery. And then at that point, it was very, very likely to be life-threatening. So my mom actually started to think outside the complementary and alternative therapies and what I might be able to do to prevent a recurrence. So an oncologist who helped me with supplements and diet recommendations, which it was a big change. There was, no sugar, pure foods, which I was not really used to, although I was studying nutrition. It was just really hard. And then it got worse a month later or so. It was 2 weeks after I finished my radiation treatments that I found a lot. And it turned out to be melanoma. And then I had a scan which showed that there were multiple tumors. They were in my neck, my lung, and my spine. And at that point, it was shocking to me that I could be so badly so quickly. And at that point, I was ready to do anything. I wanted to live. I wanted to be there, kids that I know she wanted to have. And shortly after that, she got engaged and get married and have kids that I'm so blessed to be here for.
And you're like the best aunt. I see lots of pictures of you with your littles, and so sweet, Bailey, to know that back part of the story that was so tender in your own walk.
Yeah, it's been a dream come true. And I'm here because first the grace of God, my life, who encouraged me and believed that I could get better and helped point me in the direction, and researched and prayed and donated and just rallied support, social support. And so I ended up doing a modified Gerson therapy. I did this while we were researching, just to help buy some time and make sure things didn't get too far along. And I went to Mexico to learn the Gerson therapy and be immersed in it, and also to get close. And I was there for 3 weeks, and when I left, I couldn't feel the tumor anymore. And so I continued just about everything at more weeks. And so I was doing the coffee, and I was drinking 13 juices per day, and of, one orange juice and 6 green juices and 6 carrot apple juices, having Hippocrates soup for lunch and dinner, and doing oatmeal for breakfast, and apples or nuts and seeds. So it's very strict and cult. But shortly after that, I had a scan the day first birthday. It was about 10 weeks from the scan that showed all the tumors, and everything was gone except for a tiny portion in my spine, which wasn't any follow-up scans for the next 3 years. And
so let's just stop there, because it was stage 3. You did conventional therapies. It came back. And then you did 10 weeks of the Gerson protocol. I did the Gerson protocol too. That's something you and I have in common. And I know after 2 weeks, after 2 months, I felt completely different as well. But all of your scans showed that you were clear, except for a little tiny spot after 10 weeks of being on the Gerson therapy.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yes. And doing, it was the whole mindset shift, the start of spiritual changes in my life. I started to pray God for this, and it's like he was right there and started things going in the other direction, a positive direction. Like he, yeah.
So great.
So I have a question as an outsider. So I hear you and your protocol, and I think because we do talk about HealingStrong supporting those with cancer, but I came to it because my mom had cancer and I was starting to change things in my own life. And so somebody who might even just be looking at their options, or maybe even learning that possibilities, they hear what you do, and it does sound like a lot. And I think what comes to my mind, and maybe some others, is how can you do that and live life? Or do you not? And you have help, and your body is able to take in all of this liquid, the soup and the juices and all this stuff, because we're used to eating at certain times during the day. So 13 juices, for example, sounds overwhelmingly like satiating. And can you even get down that much? And so I'm just kind of curious, kind of give us a window into what that looks like for somebody who's maybe kind of learning that this is an option. This is a thing. People do this.
Yeah. I had a lot of support, and I had moved back home from college, so I didn't have anything that I had to do. So I was very blessed and lucky in that regard, and I had that. I couldn't do it on my own, because with the Coley's treatments or whatever, and did not have the energy in the mornings to spend 2.5 hours and my soup and the coffee and to do all that. There are people who work full time or part time and or have families, and I think they're superheroes. Really displaying what humans are capable of through God's power.
Well, I did it.
Yeah.
I did it. I worked part-time and had 2 boys, and I was married. And anyone, you can do it. If God is leading you to do it, he's going to provide a way for you to do it. He's going to give you the willpower to do it. And I did have help. My husband was he was amazingly supportive. Once we dove into the Gerson therapy, he would make my coffee breaks, right? He'd boil the coffee, and the boys would help me scrub the carrots. And you just do whatever you can do. And Bailey, you were in a family that supported you, right? That gave you the support that you needed too, to be able to do it. So I hear that a lot. Like, there's no way that I could ever do the Gerson therapy, but there is a way. If you check it out and you find that, you know what, this makes sense. The principles behind it make sense. The research behind what Dr. Max Gerson put together makes sense to me. Then, really seek the Lord and ask him to help provide a way, because friends can help you, wash all the fruits and vegetables and get them ready for the week. Friends can help you shop. You give them a shopping list. Your family can help you get them involved. My kids learned, and they still juice today because they learned to be part of the Gerson therapy. So yeah, you can do it. And Bailey was a young 20-year-old, right, Bailey? Or 19-year-old, 20-year-old. And, it changed your life, though, because you learned the principles that were taught through the Gerson therapy. And I know you continue them today. I love your story you told, I think, on our podcast, that when you did go back to school, the school even helped you.
Well, I didn't even think
Is that true?
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is true. And my mom asked about the dining hall. I'm like, why would they want to help me? They had they had the interest because they did it, but there was nothing in it for them. Just the goodness of their hearts, what the Lord put on their hearts.
What a blessing.
So
amazing.
Lots of helpinghands.com. You can create a profile and things that you need, and so people can sign up to help out. My mom reached out to people in our town, and so we would have our juicing helpers come, or even 3 people at a time, and on the weekdays, because my parents were working. So those people and efforts.
So great. Well, tell us, Bailey, we were trying to think about this. When did you and I meet? It was probably 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. And a mutual friend said, you need to check this girl, Bailey O'Brien, out, who did the Gerson therapy too. But how did you get involved in HealingStrong?
Well, so I became a HealingStrong leader after I wanted for women that I was coaching and doing cancer coaching with, and I used church that I went through my church discipleship program. And then I was like, well, what do I do next? And then there was the Heal study. I looked at it and I thought it was great, and so that's when we started. And we just finished last week gospel studies, and so we're starting back today in like 15-20 minutes again.
Oh my goodness, that's so we have, for those of you that don't know, if you go to the HealingStrong website, go to the main website and go to the refresh page, what Bailey's talking about is she teaches our Bible study. So we have a volunteer team that has put together Heal Bible studies based on the gospel, with a lot of different devotions as well. And she's been through the Gospels, and now they're starting back over. And I know it never gets old, right? Reading the healing ministry of Jesus and reading those Gospels out loud with others is so beautiful, and really studying them. So we have packages that you can download for free, and you can do them for free at your church or your small group, or just for yourself. A really cool story is that we have a volunteer that really led that initiative and put it together. And we just got word that the Bible.com, which we let them host it, Bible.com has seen 250,000 downloads of those Bible studies just in the last year and a half. So it's pretty cool that people are seeing the value of really studying the Word of God through their healing. And it's always free. We always offer it free. And Bailey, I'm so glad that you're doing it. We heard that there were a lot of people trying to hop into your study, and it's closed now, right?
Yeah. I think naturally, yeah, it's just there are lots of people out there who need it, and so we need lots of workers to. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just wonderful. It's because we all need, even here. I'm 15 years post, first time that I had of it, and I need it too. So it's a blessing for me, and the ways that God heals, and also to have this, we're a cohesive group. It's not just like, I'm leading, but it's fun too.
Yeah. Well, let's talk, because this is Giving Tuesday, right? So we really want to encourage our community to give, to be a part of, but not only giving. This is not only Giving Tuesday. People are getting a lot today that Healing Strong has put together. So just so that you all know, we're interviewing people like Bailey that have been a big part of the Healing Strong community, but also we are asking for you to give any donation amount to Healing Strong, and you just go to our main website, healingstrong.org, and the Giving Tuesday page will pop up. If you give $50 or more, Jane Barlow is going to send you her book signed. And if you give $75 or more, not only do you get Jane Barlow's book, but you get Square One as well. And so that's like a $200 value. And everybody that gives gets a website that you can download all of our books. And I think, Bailey, I was thinking, are you in our little book in this one, Created to Heal Strong? I think you are, aren't you? So Bailey's story is in it. My story is in it. How we modified the Gerson protocol, which was just basic tweaks. Bailey was way more of a purist with it, I think, than I was. But and then we also have our participant guide that you can download, and our 30-day healthy living guide. One of our Bible studies is on there too, but also a ton of resources or recipes that are yummy. And you get all of those free. Plus, if you give a little more, we're sending you a gift. So, and those gifts don't cost us anything because of partners like Chris Work and Jane Barlow, and also Sherry Calbaum, who has donated a juicer that everybody gets their name to go in the drawing. And at the end of today, we're going to do a drawing for a $500 Nama juicer. So it's really a great day to give. I know. So Bailey, tell us, I'm going to ask two questions. One question is, you've been doing this a long time. If I were brand new, diagnosed coming into this discussion, what would you tell me would be the first thing to do? Like first thing.
First change
to make. Yeah, first change to make.
First change. Okay. God is the source of our healing. So I would say our relationship with God, or get more serious about seeking Him, because he knows what we need. He knows what we want, and He is the giver of all good things. So seek Him. What I would say to be the first thing to do.
Awesome. It's the best thing. And then the second thing, what would you say to our community, fellow group leaders, fellow participants, others? Why should they give to Healing Strong today?
Give. Susie is my friend.
Thank you, Bailey.
Healing Strong makes it possible to connect with other people who it's not easy to do these therapies. It's a change that we have to make, and it can be painful. And whether you're Band-Aid all at once and going head first into everything, or it takes painful, but being in community helps make it less painful. It reminds us when we forget why we're doing it, or the importance of it, time. And there's lots of social events where it's really hard to go. You have to decide ahead of time that you're not going to eat certain things, or bring, before you go, or eat some before you go, and then go and have some things that maybe someone else knows what your diet is like, and you can have some of that. But you can go farther together, and it's just really hard to be possible. You can only go so far without needing communities provides. So that's a major reason.
I love that. We go farther together, and that is HealingStrong for sure. So, well, Maya, did you have any questions for Ms. Bailey?
I just had that one question as you were sharing your story, because I think that visual of what your protocol was like goes to show why community is so important and why finding people around you is so important. Because not everybody is living this way or understands this way. And so it's vital to your mental, spiritual, physical, emotional health to be encouraged by others who want to support you and understand or can relate. And so I was curious to ask that, because I think as somebody who's living more for prevention and knows about this stuff, it's easy to just kind of take that as you will. But then somebody who's listening to us maybe for the first time, or somebody's going to share this with somebody and they're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. And it's because you were in a time of allowing others to be around you. You were kind of taking pause so that others could help you. And we talked about this earlier, is in moments of trial and struggle, we seem to shut out other people. But when we're going about our daily lives, it seems easier to just kind of talk about ourselves and what's going on, and kind of, focusing on us and communicating that to the world and people. But when something serious is going on, we tend to shut people out for some reason. And that's the most vulnerable time. That's when the Lord really blesses us, when we embrace the fellowship and the body of Christ, and allowing others in to help us and lift one another up. I mean, iron sharpens iron, right?
Yeah. And if nothing, if cancer can't show us our needs, not really sure what will. I mean, everybody has their own thing, but it's time to show us that we need, we need to change something in our lives. We need others. And also I wanted to remind or encourage people that forever, like the therapies that they may be very, very intense for a period of time, and for some people it may be, but it's a temporary thing to get you, we need healed, or maybe if we do it less intense, then it will take a longer amount of time. And it is a lifetime lifestyle of prevention, like you said, Maya, not eating processed foods, and only sleeping and not exercising, or maybe being in certain situations that are mentally or emotionally, spiritually. But it's like you said, a pause to receive, or ourselves, that maybe if we had lived, not maybe we lived in a way that wasn't what's it called, that you can have time. And so we have to take a time to pause and realign and to be.
So good.
And then we can, relax a little bit and not drink.
I just look at you too, and my heart is just so full as I think about the different parts of our lives that's brought us together. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for both of you. Bailey, I'm just so thankful for what you're doing. I know that you have a book you're working on. I don't know if you're talking about it yet or not.
But you are now.
Get that written, because you got so much good to say. And I hope that comes out, soon. And we'll be rooting for you. And I know our community will stand with you on that. So God bless you both. We have we're halfway through the day, and I just want to ask that you would please give whatever you are feeling led to give, and just know that we are also giving. So go to our healingstrong.org website and be a part of Giving Tuesday for us. Maya, who do we have coming up next?
Miss Barbara Duck. She's also a Healing Strong group leader, a member, volunteer, but breast cancer thriver.
Yes, and she's in North Carolina. So Bailey's up in New York. So we've got groups all over. You guys go to our website and find your group. Stop by and just and look at the online groups as well. So anyway, Bailey, thank you for making today available for us. Appreciate you so much.
Fun. Anytime.
Thank you.
To talk to you.